Bankroll Network, play to win.
Crypto Slow with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Bankroll Network weekly update number 44. Let's get to it. So looking at Bitcoin on 1334, we had this nice bump on the 1334, still showing some solid divergence here as we trade sideways. That's on the 3-month. On the 6-month, it's not as strong, but we're still above the 34, which is definitely good. Going to the 1 month, we're kind of trading sideways. We touched it down, but we're getting that breakout on 13, so we're trading sideways. What do I expect? I have a sneaking suspicion this week that Bitcoin is gonna be looking pretty solid. Other than that, the MACD, we had that initial bump, but kind of leveling out, so still holding, which is good. If you're looking at the Elliott waves of this is the possibility of the type C wave, which would put us probably over 20,000. They're saying 16 to 20 to 30. So we'll see what happens as this moves along. We had the wildcard event with China, so not too bad. Moving on to Tron, we had that blast off into the 2-cent range. If you zoom out to the 6-month, you can see the floor resistance at that 2-cent level. We had a very nice crossover on the 13, and it looks like the party's just starting. Now, with that being said, could we touch back down on the 13 at about 1.7? It is possible, but we are looking to trend in the right way. That's the 6-month, and on the 3-month, it's looking very solid with maybe a touchback at like 1.84 cents ish, but other than that, very solid performance from Tron. Moving on, looking at Banker on the Tron trade, not looking too bad. We are kind of trading sideways in this 11 to 12 range, but we've got a nice order book on both sides. Me personally, I wish I had more Banker. So I'm definitely focusing on that because I've got some big things coming that I'm hoping I can pump my bags with a nice bit of Banker so I can get my staking moving along. Moving to Bankroll stats. First and foremost, Tron price. As you can see, we are trending nicely, not bad at all, at that 2-cent range. And this is what we're talking about, is things get expensive very quickly. If you don't have your position, really focus on getting that position or looping back. If you've got some other things going on, fantastic, but I would use the profits from those and roll them into Bankroll. That's the nice thing about credits. It's almost like a savings account for when things are just kind of so-so, and you can pull out, pop back in. Me personally, I try to keep only about 20% of my portfolio outside of Bankroll in miscellaneous things, like I talked about in my latest video, Planet Boom, PvP, which is pretty cool. It's pretty hot right now, so I put a little in there, and basically once I ROI on that, I would move back into credits. So players 8,500, so we had a very strong week. I would say that this is actually one of the strongest weeks. Let's look at that. So 85.73 minus 79.11 divided by 85.73. Okay, almost 8% growth in total network this week. So that is absolutely fantastic. Can't complain. Total TRX on the network, again, we had a very large pump into the Bankroll Network, about 4 million Tron. What is my prediction for the future? I definitely see the network value going over 100 million. No problem. Yeah, so total transactions, that is actually representative of the network activity, a very solid bump. That would be, yeah, about 5-10%, so solid. Added a new metric this week. I am starting to track the Telegram usage. We had a huge, massive jump. We're at 7912. I did take some estimates from the previous weeks, but we had a massive jump. Almost 100% growth in Telegram, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, the question is, people are like, are those bots? Well, you know what? Actually, there has been bot cleansing done to the group. So a lot of these people are new people. They're wondering what Bankroll is all about. They're starting with little BTT airdrops, and hopefully we turn those guys into credit holders. Looking at credits, we have players 4268, little bump on the players. Total balance up about 600,000-700,000. The credits drip pool is down a little, but still very solid at 2.2 million, and that is the dividends that are constantly dripping back into credit holders. Transactions is up. Moving along, looking at Banker, we added about 80 more players to Banker. This actually should be like that. We wish it was 5%. Total mine 2925. Now, with that being said, keep in mind we are approaching probabilities of an increased to the Banker mining level. So think of it as a halving, where it's going to get twice as hard to get your hands on Banker. So this could be reflective in price. Halvings don't always mean that the price doubles, but what I will say is it makes it more scarce, more difficult to get. So if you don't have your position in Banker, I would say as soon as they say. Frozen 2.82 million, up about 125,000. Remaining Banker 18 million. Transactions are up. Moving on to Moon, 600 players, so very nice percentage jump in Moon. So we got some new players, probably because the price is a little lower. So we're just kind of bouncing around at this. Now, what is this indicative of to me? This tells me that there has not been any major whales that have dumped. Supply is actually down a little, which means we've got some burning going on. Balances at 4 million total dumps. We had a big week of dumps, which explains why we had those awesome divs. I'll tell you what, the divs and credits have been flowing. I've had some times where I pop back in there and I'm almost at 1,000 TRX for the day, which is absolutely fantastic. Transactions are up. So like I said, I withdrew some of my credits, but I'm going to put them right back. Like I said, I went hard a little bit on Planet Boom. It's moving along nice, and like I said, I'll loop that back into credits to increase my position. And with that being said, I most likely will be having another mining event. I'll do a special video on that, but I would expect 250 to 300k on my next mining event through luck, and I'll be stacking some Banker in the meantime on that. If you haven't already done it, make sure you join the Bankroll Network Telegram so you can stay informed of all the latest greatest news. And also, on a side note, Teller went to Vegas. Totally awesome. So he attended the CryptoCon crypto event, which is absolutely awesome. Like I said, how many other DApp people do you see hanging out at one of the world's greatest, networking with all these thought leaders on finance and crypto and the latest greatest education? But he had some sweet pictures hanging out with all kinds of different people. Said he got to do some conversations with Cardano and just very great event. All kinds of cool things, blockchain shoes. But yeah, so look for me at next year's event. I'm going. I've already decided this is the place to be. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Be sure to subscribe to the Bankroll Network YouTube channel for all the latest greatest updates, and obviously the Crypto Slow channel if you want some other updates related to Bankroll and other things. With that being said, this is Crypto Slow. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.